Red alert, big warning for silver and gold investors. It has to do with China, and we're going to talk about the reasons why in this video. We need to be a little scared right now about silver and gold price. But first, let's talk about the more important big picture with silver and gold, because it's very optimistic. It's very positive where we're heading, guys. I know you love silver. I know you love gold. I know you like to look at the big picture. So we're going to do that. But first, even more important is I want to recognize you for being here today with us on this live stream, on the video. Thank you so much. You are the most important part of Ron's Basement. It's a big deal that you're here. We appreciate you. We appreciate your time. Thank you for your support. Please subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. And those super chats are always super appreciated, but never donate anything that you can't afford. Let's go look at the big picture for gold and silver, because guys, we have a lot to be grateful for right now. I thought this was a great summation of it from our friend North Star. He pointed out we have a weak economy, stubborn inflation, also known as stagflation. We've talked about that ad nauseum. Stagflation is very important because it provides the most supportive, conducive environment in the history of the universe for the precious metals prices. We also have rising interest rates and bond yields. Again, because nobody wants to buy our bonds, right? I mean, we've got so much debt. We know the reason why that's the case. They can increase GDP by printing money. Look a little bit lower there. You see Jerome? See what he's doing? Because GDP equals money supply times money velocity. It's all paper unicorn fart dust. It's all the dollar going down in value, which is another way to say high inflation, which is going to rule the day in 2025 and provide an unbelievable environment for the silver and gold price once we get through this little China problem that we're going to talk about here in a few minutes. They'll create distractions, plausible deniability. The stock market could fall 50%. Gold and silver to the moon. Does it feel like to you that the macro environment right now for gold and silver are very, very good? But let's zoom in on what's going on first in the gold market. We're going to look at a chart, and then the silver market to see how incredibly well set up we are right now. Now, look, no guarantees. We could be talking a month, 2 months, a week from now with lower precious metals prices. But when we look at these charts, it is unbelievable. It is optimistic. This comes from our friend Oren, right? Also known as the Silver Hermit. We love him. Super smart guy. He says an absolute textbook bull flag consolidation and breakout in gold. You couldn't ask for a more bullish, favorable setup. Let's take a quick look at what he's talking about. The green lines, the green channel, that's called a bull flag. As you can see, right? The flag went down. The gold price touched what? Around 2,600. This was all in the last week or so, basically. And now has broke out of the bull flag. If this China problem that we're going to talk about later doesn't beat us back down, we could be in for a massive run into the election, into the end of the year. Thank you, Oren, for that information. Now, let's go over to the silver price, where we have some great analysis from the Silver Surfer. Hey, Oren's a basement dweller. I know he joins us, and so does the Silver Surfer. So thank you guys for your contributions. These are both from X. Silver, the week played out as close to perfect as possible. See post from the beginning of the week. Silver Surfer called this perfect retest of upper channel, another flag trend line. Once the swing high is taken out, expect silver to move rapidly. Okay, so there's the flag going back to what? May. All right, look how silver was kind of in this range. Oh, by the way, I have big news for you regarding, I've moved up my next purchase of silver price. I'd been holding off to 26.50. I missed that right here, and I'm going to move that up. I'll tell you more about that in a little bit, but see how the silver price remained in this channel for a while? Guess what, Buttercup? It broke out, okay? And then came down and retested and bounced back up. Oh man, I love this technical analysis. But on top of the technical analysis, which is very important, and that shows us just how set up we are with the gold price and the silver price from a technical perspective. But on top of that, right, to add fuel to the fire, we're set up on a fundamental basis alone. We could talk for the next 5 hours about all the fundamental support factors behind silver, all the fundamental support factors behind gold as well. What about how would you like to make 10 times your money? How about 20 times your money? Would it matter if we had a mania in the gold mining and silver mining stocks? Look at this data. This is just absolutely crazy. I'm going to give you some examples here of just how crazy the junior, and this came from Silver Santa, by the way, how crazy some of the returns can be in the stocks, in the mining stocks. This is from 1979 to 1980, basically January of 1979 through most of these are October. Look at some of these returns. Copper Lake, the stock went from 8 cents per share all the way up to $10.50 per share. Now, of course, that's the most extreme example on this list, but Eagle River Mines went from $19 a share all the way to $6.80 per share, and that was over a 2-year period from January of 79 through December of 1980. I mean, some of these, hey, would you be happy with Lornex? I'd be happy with Lornex. It went from $15 a share to $85 a share in a 21-month period. Now, if we go to the mid-1990s, we had apparently another big run in the stocks. Why are these examples such a big deal? Because, guys, when we get a big run, don't make any financial decisions based on anything I'm presenting to you today, but let's say if and when we do get another big run in the mining shares, it will also, even if you're not invested in the mining shares, bring massive amounts of attention to the silver and gold markets, the physical markets as well. And we saw yesterday, right? 1% of the world's financial wealth is invested in gold and silver in the 1980 range. And that came from Tavi Costa at Crescat Capital. But in 1980, like 20%, 25% of the world's financial wealth was invested in gold and gold mining stocks, silver and silver mining stocks. So it can happen. I mean, really, like we talked about, we're at 1%. If we go to 4%, we'll take it. That's 4 times the amount of money going into the silver and gold sector, and that's new money. That's people who are going to need to be buying more gold and silver. Get your hands on it before it goes away. Look, here's the mid-1990s. We saw similar returns, right? Look at this one, Cartaway. Actually, though, I dug into this one, was kind of a bit of a scam, apparently, but this stock went from 10 cents a share to $26.14, 26,000% return. I think, what do you say, basement dwellers? We'd be happy if we'd owned Arequipa. It went from 60 cents to $35 a share, a whopping 5,700% return. I mean, unbelievable. Look, there's no guarantees that will happen. However, that could happen. And investors that are invested in silver, gold, or these precious metal mining stocks could be in for some fantastic returns. Let's go out and say thank you, since we're talking about silver and gold bullion, to our good friends at Pimbex. Thank you, Pimbex, for sponsoring the basement. They enable us. There are enablers, guys, to come together, to have our club here in the basement, right? Buttercups, basement dwellers, whatever we call ourselves. You're always welcome here in the basement, and we can thank our sponsors like Pimbex for enabling that to happen. So if you're looking to buy some silver, gold, or platinum group metals, please throw Pimbex into the mix. Do some comparison shopping, right? It's critical. The price you get determines how much metal you get. And if you get a better price on the exact same product, you will get more metal for your money. right? If they're sovereign coins minted by the Australian Mint, like you see there on the screen, or American Silver Eagles, they're all the same thing. And you may as well get more of them for your hard-earned fiat paper dollars that you are converting into real metal. You always want to work with a company you can trust. I trust Pembex. I can give you my testament on Pembex, testimony, which is I've worked with them for over a year. I've made 5 or 6, what to me are large purchases, and everything has gone off without a hitch. But read what other people say. I learned about the company from you. So, hey, if you're out there shopping around, please consider Pembex. Give them a shot. They do help make Ron's Basement possible, and they're great people. Thanks, Pembex, for sponsoring Ron's Basement. What about, so that's the setup, the big picture setup that we have going on. But what about the uncertainty? That's going to drive the price of silver and gold like nothing else as we move into the coming month, weeks, possibly quarters and years. $3,000 gold in an instant, as an example, is what some people are saying, that we could get $3,000 gold like this if the situation between Israel and Iran were to escalate. We don't want anything bad to happen. We're looking at the facts of what is happening. $3,000 gold. What? $40 silver. Who knows how high silver can go? Where some people are saying $50 silver within weeks, but nonetheless, we digress. Uncertainty in the world can make the prices of these metals absolutely skyrocket during times of war. Uncertainty. That is like the biggest factor that can affect the price of the precious metals. Okay, we know right now Iran is telling the Middle Eastern countries, if you facilitate the ability for Israel to attack us, we will consider that we are at war with you. That was reported by the major mainstream media press on Friday. This is serious stuff going on. This could make us very happy, make you happy as a silver and gold investor, that you have the metals as an insurance policy. But it's not just there. Okay, let's look at what's going on right now. Don't forget, we have the situation. This is astounding. Another example of what is going on with uncertainty in our world. This is from I go all over the world, basement dwellers, looking for information. This is from the Ukrainska Pravda. Several thousand North Korean soldiers training in Russia. Potential deployment to Ukraine. All right, now this is not. This comes from, I believe, the Washington Post. Let's just read this. The Institute for Study of War has reported that North Korean soldiers are already fighting in Ukraine, and several thousand North Korean military personnel are undergoing training in Russia, with the possibility they may be deployed to the line of contact in the future. According to a report by the Washington Post, South Korean and Ukrainian officials have stated that North Korean soldiers are fighting alongside Russian forces in Ukraine. This is a big deal, guys. The world, the uncertainty, it is a primary support, a primary reason why you buy silver, why you buy gold. We are living in extreme most Americans, the sheeple, are unaware of what's really going on out there. You have the courage. You've taken, the step to not just listen to people like me, listen to a lot of people, then form your own opinion. But when we look at what's going on in the world right now, it is pretty darn scary. And it's not just us. What about Jamie Dimon? What about JP Morgan Chase? Our friends at JP Morgan, the ones who've manipulated the price of silver and gold, we're going to set that aside. What's Jamie Dimon, the CEO of the most powerful financial institution in the world? What is he saying about uncertainty? What is he saying about geopolitical turmoil? What is he telling us? We got to read between the lines about our decision to protect ourselves with silver and gold. Let's go see what Jamie's saying. Hi, Jamie. We love you. Jamie Dimon says geopolitical risks are surging. Quote, conditions are treacherous and getting worse. JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon sees risk climbing around the world amid widening conflicts in the Middle East and with Russia's invasion of Ukraine showing no signs of abating. Quote, let's see if I can talk like Jamie Dimon. We've been closely monitoring the geopolitical situation for some time, and recent events show that conditions are treacherous and getting worse. Dimon said Friday in the bank's third quarter. This was from Friday. Third quarter earnings release. This is Jamie Dimon talking doom and gloom. I think for just 5 more minutes, we're going to make him a basement dweller. Talking the truth, not doom and gloom. Dimon also said that he remains wary about the future of the economy. Well, thanks, Jamie. Despite signs that the Federal Reserve has engineered a soft landing. Wow. Oh, there he is. Whoop, there he is. There's our friend Jamie. Okay, so Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, is telling you, right? The world is a poop show. Okay? War with Russia. And now North Korea is maybe joining in. He didn't say that, but we know that because we go all over the world sourcing our information. Right? The situation in the Middle East, scary, frightening, horrible. And then Jamie had to throw a little cherry on top, and that is that the U.S. economy stinks. Boeing just laid off 17,000 people. Just to give you a little visual of what 17,000 people look like, turn on your television set. Don't watch mainstream media news, but turn on a sporting event like an NHL hockey game that's like the Madison Square Garden full of people. That's 17,000 people. That's how many people lost their $100,000 per year plus jobs at Boeing, which is a tragedy. But that's the U.S. economy. More on that later, okay? We are set up. I'm going to read this to you. This is official news from Ron's basement. Breaking news. We are set up like never before on a worldwide basis for silver and gold. And on top of it all, we have massive worldwide debt. Make-believe, unicorn fart dust, paper money. It's not just the United States, guys. Okay? It's countries like China. We're going to warn you about them later. Japan. Everywhere. Euro. Remember Greece? Remember when my daughters were babies? Remember when remember that the Eurozone was going to fall apart? Greece was in a sovereign debt crisis. It's all been papered over. It's all been unicorn fart dusted on. Okay, that's what's going on. It's all fantasy land. It's all paper. Woo, here it comes. Hold on. Woo, hi guys, it's me, the paper dollar. Yeah, that's what's going on. You can't live in fantasy land. You can only stay in Las Vegas for so long, right? And then you got to pay the piper. And it's time to pay the piper. The hens have come home to roost. The sheep need to be sheared. I'm sorry, I digress. We also have geopolitical turmoil in the world like nothing else. You don't need Jamie Dimon to tell you that. You can hear it right here in the basement. I'm so glad you're here, by the way. I see you. I know you're here. This is not possible, of course, without our sponsors, but really without you. So thank you for being here. Now, what else? What about USA turmoil? It's not going to hit us possibly until after the election. I hope it doesn't. But some people, smart people that I've listened to are saying, like things seem so calm now. I mean, besides the fact that half the country hates the other half of the country, back and forth, everybody hates each other, but doesn't talk about it. But that the real turmoil could occur post-election. I don't want anything bad to happen. I'm not saying I believe or, we need to dig holes in our backyards and build bunkers or anything like that. But it could get very, very crazy. But then I started thinking, turmoil, but wait a minute. One of the presidential candidates has had 2 attempts on his life. So maybe things are crazy before the election. I mean, think about that. It's absolutely stunning. So that's what we have coming. Now, in this world, what do we know is going on? What are the world's countries doing? That it tells us it's not just us that is concerned about the geopolitical situation. Poland at the forefront of the wrong darn article. Well, hold on here. I can't believe I pulled up the wrong. But by the way, Poland has the world's biggest silver reserves. But also, Poland is buying gold. Their central bank came out last week, announced massive holdings of gold, massive increase. Poland. Why is that important? Poland is considered to be pretty much, in my opinion now, a Western country. Like they're in NATO. Okay, they're an ally of the United States, and their central banker is saying, like, we are buying massive amounts of gold. Why? Because we like the stability. Why? Right? Because we're on the edge of a war zone. Think about that. Okay, Poland's not bragging about how many dollars they've acquired. No, Poland's bragging about how much gold they're acquiring, have acquired, are acquiring, and that it garners respect in the world economy. The Polish central banker was saying this. That tells us something, guys. Take a step back with me. Okay, have a sip of coffee. Look at this coffee mug I have. See that? Have to get new ones made without the blindfold on. Let's all have a sip of coffee. What is it telling us? That a Western country that just happens to be on the border of a country that's at war is buying gold. Think about it. Put two and two together. I love how Andy Schechtman says, like, there's crumbs of information. Put it all together. It tells us, right? That's what big countries in the world are doing right now. And we don't even know. That's the other thing. It's astounding. We don't even really know how much gold the world central banks are buying. I read some statistic the other day that like only I think it said 67%. There's like missing. It's like they don't know who's buying. There's like a lot of gold that's being bought, but it's like a mystery buyer. People say Saudi Arabia is secretly buying gold. Who do you think's buying silver? Right? People say Russia is secretly buying gold. People say China is and the numbers indicate somebody's buying it. It's not just going poof, poof, bye, bye, right? They can't balance the numbers. They're like, well, the central banks only report that they bought this much gold, but there's this much that's being sold. And they're saying it's as high as 67%. Think about that for a minute, right? And remember this, the central banks of the world, they are the most sophisticated financial institutions with access to more inside information, high-level information than anyone in the world. The big hedge funds, no, they're not that smart. They don't know what the central banks know. The central banks are the big insiders. That's the fact. So we're going to watch what they do and continue to watch what they do. What's going on with the BRICS? So as we know that's going on, here, take a look at this. Oh, here's Poland. More quick news out of Poland, just to let you know how calm and collect the world is right now. Polish general threatens to bomb St. Petersburg, Russia, if Russia attacks any NATO frontline state. Okay, yeah, things are calm and collect here. Also, okay, what are we learning about BRICS? Russia, just new news, proposes a BRICS multi-currency system for cross-border trade. Russia is proposing reforms to cross-border payment systems among BRICS countries to bypass the global financial system and shield its economy from sanctions. And there's something in here about silver, gold. Okay. And the plan also involves, establishing trade hubs for commodities like oil, natural gas, grain, and gold, and we're sure silver as well. Oh, the world's just such a nice, calm, cool, and collect place now. Okay. Yes. Okay. I will be buying silver at $28 for those of you who've been asking. My previous plan was for $26.50. I don't think we're going to get back to $26.50 for silver. So I am now officially raising my next silver purchase if And I only think there's about a 31% chance this will happen if the silver price gets back to $28. I'll keep you posted. I missed my opportunity at $26.50. Let me know in the comments, where do you think? Where would you buy silver, right? I'm patient. I've made, I've been doing this for years and years, decades actually. Where are you buying silver now? Or are you waiting for a potential pullback? I'm saying I don't think that there's going to be a big pullback, but if there is and we get to 27.50, I will be back in the market buying silver. Tell me what you're thinking, guys. I'm curious. All right? That's how we all improve, is by working together, and that's what us basement dwellers do. Okay? And here we go. I got your picture. Oh my gosh, I'm going to violate your privacy. Yes, you. I got your picture, and I'm going to pull it up on the screen here in just 1 second. You be ready. I don't want you to get mad and unsubscribe or anything like that. But when you do, this is your picture. Somebody sent it to me. Okay. This is great. That's me leaving the coin shop before they realize I gave them paper for silver. And look at you. What do you have in your hand there? A tube of, what are those? Canadian maple leaves or something? Think about it, basement dwellers. We can take paper. We can take this stuff. All right, here, you can hear it. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can change this. Here you go. You can take this stuff, right, to the coin shop and get metal. You can trade paper for metal. You can trade make-believe unicorn fart dust dollars that are printed to oblivion for real metal. And we're so spoiled in the United States. I mean, people in Europe have to pay like a 20%, what's called VAT, value-added tax. We've got it good. And on top of that, think about this. Another reason why we should be so grateful that we can trade paper, right? Fiat, whatever, paper money for real metal is the fact that the silver price in particular, but the gold price also, but the silver price have been artificially tamped down, controlled, held down for decades and decades and decades. Think about that. You get to trade this stuff, paper, for this stuff, real metal. Okay, I think I like the Indian side. I just love that round for some reason. That came from Big Tim, the Silver Shar. You can trade this for this, okay? And you get to do it at a subsidized, artificially low price, thanks to our wonderful friends at the COMEX, also known as the CRIMEX, and the LBMA. They've suppressed the price of silver for decades. Okay, it's like a coiled spring. It's like a beach ball that's been held underwater. But nonetheless, for right now, you are able to buy at an artificially low price at a very low premium. Look, this blows me away. I don't mean to do a double plug for Pembex, but let's just go look real quick and look at the price of silver, right? $31.50 per ounce. And if I go to, let's look at Silver Britannias. I don't know if they even have, this is not planned, okay? Okay, here, 2023, okay, brilliant uncirculated, Britannia, $33.70. Okay, that's if you buy in bulk, and that's with an ACH price, but nonetheless, you can buy sovereign minted coins from the United Kingdom for $2 over spot. I think people in the United Kingdom are forced to pay like a 20% value added tax. That, number one, this price is artificially low. This should say something like $68, okay? So, but it doesn't. So you get a big discount there. Thank you to our friends. Thank you to our friends at Pembex, and thank you to our friends at the COMEX. I should make a song up about that. Anyway, COMEX and Pembex, it rhymes nonetheless. But there's a big difference, baby, because Pembex is real metal. The COMEX is paper. What is it? 500 to 1? I don't know, whatever it is. Paper to so you get an artificially low price with a very low premium. We are so lucky. And I forgot to pull it up, but now I'm reading over the weekend. Did you hear this? That right now I'm hearing like 650 million ounces of silver are sold short. It keeps going up, kind of like that paper to dollar ratio. It's unbelievable. We are so set up right now, so set up. So that's you running from the thing. Okay, this is interesting. Elon Musk, okay, love him or hate him, right? The guy is done some pretty incredible things, okay? And a lot of what he's doing requires a lot of silver. At some point, Elon Musk is going to be keenly interested, even more than he is now, in the silver market. No doubt about it. But we talk about this all. We're going to pull this all together. We talk about political turmoil. Talk about all the crud in the world. Okay, we did that. We did that. Oh, where is it? Okay, watch this. Watch this video you have on your screen. I wonder if I can click on this. Hold on. Okay, this is like SpaceX's rockets, Elon Musk, self-landing. Did that just happen this morning? I mean, does that blow your mind that that's going on in our world? Right, that's the technology that we have right now. To me, it's just, look at it. It landed itself. Okay, so quick rant. I promise it'll be quick. We have that kind of technology. We have two questions for Elon Musk. Two questions. Okay, number one, Elon, when are you going to officially buy a silver mine? Because you need a lot of silver. My second question, and this has to do with the political turmoil in the United States right now, is if we can make self-landing rockets. 50 years ago, we sent somebody to the moon, right? We can track financial. My bank, knock on wood, has never made a mistake, right? We can track all this information. Why the heck, Elon, can we not, and I'm not mad at Elon about this, but does this make sense to you? Why can't we have an electronic way to vote for the president in this country that's reliable? I mean, to me, it seems like if we're doing all this other crazy tech stuff, why can't we just have a database out there of eligible voters? You vote for who you want, you log in with your secure whatever, double whatever, and you vote, and it goes onto a ledger, and then you can actually go check on your own vote to make sure that it's been counted as part of that. Why is that not the case? Why do we have this crazy way that we vote in this country? I'm almost done. I know I got a little off track, but does that make you think? Doesn't it make you think, like, why do we vote with like paper and all these different ways? Why can't we have just like one centralized voting database? I mean, it's like elementary. I mean, I was talking to my buddy Slick Willie the other night. I'm like, you and I could probably do. It's like you get a database of eligible voters and who did you vote for, and then you can go on and check. Anyway, I digress. Thank you. Okay, but does that make what? 200 thumbs up. Oh, we got to do the bell. Let's ring the bell. That's for 200 thumbs up. It really makes me mad. It isn't like everybody's mad at each other politically. It's like you should really be. One of the things we should be mad at is the Federal Reserve. We should be mad at the Fed. Most of these people, and we should be mad that, I mean, isn't it blatantly obvious that there's something up that we don't, the way we vote now, like it should be real elementary, right? Like a database. I'm sorry. Then I'm done. I'm done. Okay. Whoa, I hate to have to break this to you, basement dwellers, but we might be in for a bad Sunday night, because China is having a major impact on the silver price, on the gold price. There's other factors out there, but China absolutely is a major player in the precious metals. And we got some news out of China over the weekend. So this is breaking news. I'm not predicting. It's going to be real interesting tonight to see how the markets open, how the silver price, but we could be in for a little bit of a poop show tonight. Okay. Is it okay for me to say poop show on YouTube? It's a family friendly show. We could be in for some difficult times, basement dwellers. And here's why. China has been in a total financial crisis. Okay. I talked to some Chinese people. We don't really know this in the United States, but China has been going through our equivalent of the great financial crisis, the 2008 property bubble when it burst here in the United States. That's what they've been going through. Real estate has been crashing. Their stock market had been crashing. China put out a big stimulus, right? And right or wrong, the silver price and the gold price are highly affected by what goes on in China. Okay? And remember, silver was struggling, gold was struggling because China stimulus. It all boils down to stimulus. And China had announced some stimulus a couple of weeks ago that made copper and silver go up. And on yesterday, there was another big announcement from China, big expectation about what China would do. And it seems like the general consensus is it was a little bit underwhelming. China's printing money, China. So let's go quickly look at what happened over the weekend with the China news. Here we go. From Reuters, China flags more fiscal stimulus for economy, but leaves out key details on size. Here's the highlights. Look at those people. There's China. There's some China pictures. Man, I saw some pictures of St. Petersburg, Russia last night. Honestly, it looked like a really nice place. Look at China. Woo. Anyway, China Finance Ministry says it will ramp up debt issuance. So that's good for gold and silver. Size of fiscal stimulus is unclear and expected to unnerve markets. That's not good for the stock market. That's not good for silver and gold price, potentially. Hopefully, I'm wrong. Beijing says will support indebted local governments. Yeah, their governments are all in debt. Everybody's in debt. Will offer subsidies to low-income people to recapitalize and will recapitalize banks, pledges measures to stabilize the property markets. So, and then here over on X, just in, China to issue 2.3 trillion yuan, I think that's like 200 billion, in special bonds to boost falling economy. Here's the problem, though, guys. Here's why it could be bad news for the silver price and gold price. Some people, the markets were expecting up to 5 times as much stimulus from China. So when the markets open tonight, you know, what are we going to be looking at? The gold and silver price, right? That's always what I'm looking at. I heard Dan Wilton from First Mining Gold, one of our channel sponsors right here, talk about, you know, one of the first things he does in the morning is go to Kitco and check the gold and silver price. I do that. I also go to Pimbex to check the gold and silver price. But nonetheless, tonight, I don't know, like 5 Central, when the market's open, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock Eastern, it's going to be interesting to see because we could be in for a big downdraft in the silver and gold price because the Chinese government is stimulating, is printing money, but not quite as much as the markets were expecting. You know how all these markets work. It's a big mess. So what about the United States, or where we live, right? Us basement dwellers. We're in big trouble. And we got some new startling news. We talked about the Boeing laying off 17,000 people. Talked about that yesterday during the live stream. Talked about it earlier today in the live stream. That's Madison Square Garden's full of people making probably on average 100, 120, 130,000, and that's not even counting their generous benefits package. That's a big deal. But this, I think, is even more indicative of what's going on right now in our world. This is very, very, very scary. And I don't know how this, I want you to think about how this applies to you. But auto loan delinquency rates are rising in the United States. Subprime auto loan delinquency rates just crossed above 4% for the first time on record. So those are the people that don't have good credit, but the delinquency rates are now at 4%. The 60-day delinquency rate for subprime auto loans has more than doubled in just 3 years. Delinquency rates now exceed both 2008, the great financial crisis, and the 2020 levels. Why this is important is as the economy continues to falter, as people default, the Fed is going to have no option, guys, but to turn the printing press on. Print money, electronic, paper, however you want to think about it, look about it, create more dollars to liquidate the economy, which will create massive inflation. We have got inflation coming like we've never experienced. The next 10 years is going to be, in my opinion, the decade of inflation. Right? When we're sitting down here in the basement, I want you to think about, let's say 5 years from now, and we're talking about a loaf of bread that maybe costs $2.60 now. maybe costing like $8, $9. That's not out of the realm of possibilities. I could be wrong. I hope I am wrong. But nonetheless, mathematically, that's about all we can see coming. At the same time, in green, prime auto loan delinquencies spiked to their highest level since 2011. And again, that was all during the aftermath of the great financial crisis. Meanwhile, what about insurance? Car insurance costs skyrocketed 15% in the first half of 2024 to an average of $2,329. Oh my gosh. Now look at this chart. Look at this chart. Okay. 60-day loan delinquency. These are people who are no longer paying their car payments. On the prime sector, go down here. See my arrow? See where he's got the red circle? Going uppity, uppity, uppity. Subprime is exploding, right? Higher than what we had. We're still not, the prime sector is still not higher than the great financial. But do you see a trend here? People not paying their car payments. Okay. What about you? Oh my gosh, hey, I got to warn you. We have 725 basement dwellers right now in the basement. At 800, Susie locks the door. Thank you guys for being here. Aren't we having fun? I mean, it's not fun to talk about people not paying their car payments, but it's fun to look at all this information and put it all together and know in our heart. You know in your heart of hearts that you've made a wise move. You've taken out an insurance policy, not just for you, but for your entire family. A safety net, if you will, by buying silver, gold, and precious metal mining stocks. Because Jerome is going to turn on the printer. Here, you want my version of it? I'll give it to you. Right, here he is. He's in trouble. Jerome, he's in a box. Recession on one side, inflation on another. We just got the inflation news on Friday. The recession, well, we just saw how there's crazy expanding. Hi, everybody. Okay. He's got his unicorn in there. You can't see that, can you? There's the unicorn. Everything's safe and sound. But don't forget, this is all Jerome knows how to do from his little box. Beep, 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 print money. And that's exactly what we're going to have coming. Exactly. Okay. Now, it's not just cars where people are suffering. This is unbelievable. Do you live in a house? Most of you do, right? I know you, right? You live in a house. Do you have a basement? I do. Nonetheless, I was blown away. And then there's again a reason why this is going on in our country, which only indicates that we're headed towards some serious, serious issues. Blown away by this next statistic. This is mind-numbing. I had absolutely no idea this was the case. This comes from Voronoi Capital. Which states have the highest share of homeowners without home insurance? Okay. This is absolutely mind-numbing. Let me see if I can make this bigger for you so you can see it better. Here we go. Okay. Look down to Florida. Almost 20%, 1 in 5 homeowners do not have homeowners insurance. What just happened in Florida? Yeah, we know. Okay, it's horrible. Look at Mississippi, 20%. Texas, 17%. My home state, Missouri. What's your state? Look at your state. I mean, California, I'm surprised those people mostly only 10%. I think the highest on this list is West Virginia. There's West Virginia. Almost, 23.4% of people do not have homeowners insurance. Okay. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because they can't afford it, right? We saw what car insurance has gone up 15%. Homeowners insurance, I don't know about you, but when I got my last homeowners insurance bill, I actually switched to Allstate. I'll be honest with you, and I got a great deal with a great agency, I guess it would be called, here in St. Louis. They're out in O'Fallon, Missouri. It was like half of what, but I had been with Safeco, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's crazy. Listen to this, though, guys. It gets even crazier. In Florida right now, because of all these hurricanes that are horrible. I'm very sorry for anyone suffering through all this. they're now saying that like some people in Florida have to pay like 5% of the value of their home, 5% for their homeowner's insurance. It's insane. That means, and you know, the real estate prices are in Florida. I'm sorry to anyone, don't take this personally, but I don't think the Florida real estate market, I know it was already struggling, but with what happened over the last month with the hurricanes, I can't see. I got a feeling Florida, I could be wrong, and I feel for people that live in Florida, own real estate in Florida. Um, you've done very well, though, over the last 5 to 10 years, but nonetheless, the prices of homes in Florida, I think, are going to go down, down, down. Who can afford? They're saying that it's going to cost like 5% of the value of a house in Florida to get homeowners insurance. So that means if you bought a house in Florida, let's say 5 to 10 years ago, 8 years ago, for 250,000, and today it's worth 500,000 because the real estate prices have skyrocketed, probably more than that. Let's say you bought it for 300,000 and now it's worth 800,000. Congratulations, Buttercup. But if you got to pay 5% of 800,000 just to get homeowners insurance, that's $40K a year. That's going to add up real quick because, as you know, the older you get, the faster the years fly by. I think Florida real estate, not just Florida, the whole country's in a bubble already. We're already in a real estate bubble. They say my house is worth 500,000. Whatever. I don't believe it. Well, I think maybe it is. Maybe I could sell it for that much, but I feel sorry for any sucker who would buy it, and they can't afford them anyway. These young kids. Nonetheless, who can afford this insurance? Nobody. They can't. People are. And then think about this with cars. I know Harley Davidson is, I'm hearing, in trouble because Harley Davidson finances a lot of the motorcycles they sell. And now people are defaulting on their loans, right? And I love Honda motorcycles. I love motorcycles, all that. I'm not putting anybody down, but, you know, most people that drive Harleys are more bread and butter, middle class Americans. And think about this. If you got a Harley in your garage and you got an F-150, okay, and you can only afford to make one of the payments, you're probably going to pay the F-150, right? You're going to let the motorcycle kind of slide away. Like, well, that was kind of a luxury item. I digress. It's getting extremely difficult for people to make ends meet. It could all implode so quickly, right? And what's going to happen? What's the only option that they're going to have? I'm telling you, the only thing they're going to be able to do is print money. Turn on the printing presses. Right? If you're a person who's sitting on a bunch of US dollars, I would be a little bit careful. I'm not giving financial advice, but me personally, I'd be a little bit careful, right? And yes, I have some dollars, no doubt about it. Don't put all your eggs in one basket necessarily. You can do whatever you want, but nonetheless, I would be very, very careful. Let's go out and take a look. Let's go on a little field trip to one of our favorite places to visit, and that would be the U.S. debt clock. As it's time for us to do our daily check of the dollar to silver ratio. This measures the amount of dollars being added to the U.S. M2 money supply for each 1 ounce of silver. Okay, it's going up. 7.15. I think yesterday it was at 7.11. I bet if we sat here long enough, guys, that would just continue to skyrocket. 700. Now, this was 400 like 4 weeks ago. $400 paper dollars added to the M2 money supply for each 1 ounce of silver that's created throughout the world. Does this make sense? What is going on? Hold on. Hopefully we're still live. There we go.
13 more likes for the gong.
Okay. Thank you, Susie. Susie, would you please say hello to everyone with your nice voice?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in with us today. I hope you have an awesome Sunday.
Okay, thank you, Susie. She's the best. We need 13 more likes, and then Susie's going to tell me we'll ring the gong. 750 people. This is out of control. Let's review quickly as we move into tonight, and we could get clobbered in the silver market. Absolutely clobbered. Let's remember something, though, guys, right? What we've seen lately is strong, resilient behavior from all the precious metals, but in particular, silver. Silver has been resilient. We're in that flag chart pattern. We're likely, even if we do get beat down by $1, all right, and I'm not saying for sure that's going to happen. It's going to be super interesting tonight, are going to bounce right back because we still have an epic, an epic 44-year cup and handle in the silver market. We still have 600 million our ounces of silver sold short. Okay, that's still there. We still are going to hear from the big BRICS meeting, which is what now 10 days away. 10 days about some potential major earth-shattering changes to the world financial system. It's going to continue. We're okay. Okay, China and India. Just for silver alone, the Chinese people are starting to buy silver. Okay, thank you. We got 300. I'll ring the gong in a second. I got a secret for you. I got a little secret. I'll be right back, though. Hold on. Look, I know we do some funny, silly stuff in the basement. It's okay to be funny and silly. One of which is, right, when we get to 300 thumbs up, we ring the golden gong, and we ring it 3 times. Now, I want you to listen to how this resonates, this golden gong. I'm fascinated. Okay, that's 3 rings of the gong for 300 thumbs up. It's a big deal you're here. I'm going to tell me. Thank you is all I can say. You really do matter, right? We're together here in the basement. We had 800 people on a Sunday morning. Thousands of us are coming together. It's a big news, and that's a big deal. And I'll tell you the reason why. More and more people are joining us in the basement. That's because more and more people are waking up. More and more, right? The sheeple are. Oh wow! I forgot about super chats. Thank you, my friend from Switzerland. Thank you. Hey guys, thank you for the super chats. They do go a long way to help support the family. Thank you, Ramose. Okay, thank you. More and more people are joining us to hear about silver and gold. That means more and more people are buying silver and gold. We can look at what's going on with the Costco dads. I'm a Costco dad. I've never been in a Costco, but hey, I'm not putting anybody down. I know Costco's supposedly awesome. They're buying silver. They're buying gold. It's a big deal as this channel grows, as the other channels out there grow, right? It's great. Okay, I encourage you, listen to the other. It's the community of silver and gold investors is expanding, right? Reawakening is really a good way to say it. It's going to be but to your secret, okay? Chinese people, they've always loved gold. We know that. But they really start. Thank you, Crypto Experiences. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you for the super chat. The Chinese people are also starting to buy silver. That's not just, I've heard that from Chinese people, talked to, but Citibank also told us that in a recent report. And that's a huge, huge deal because just, the little side note, there's 1.4 billion people in China. If each Chinese person bought 1 ounce of let's put out a message to China right now. Dear friends in China, this is Ron from Ron's Basement. We are cordially inviting you to join us as silver stackers. We have one request. Before you can join the club, you need to buy 1 ounce of silver. Yes, 1 ounce. Come on, focus. Well, anyway, you get the point. That would be 1.4 billion ounces of silver. Yep, super chat. I got it. Thank you. That would be 1.4 billion with a B ounces of silver. The whole world only supplies 1 billion. Each Chinese person, 1 ounce. But then wait a minute, there's this other country, the precious metals capital of the world, India, that also has 1.4 billion people. Oh, and by the way, right, they love gold. They've got Indian households officially have 25,000 metric tons of gold, which is more than 3 times the amount of gold that the United States supposedly has in Fort Knox. So we supposedly have 8,000 tons, which nobody's seen for decades, but it's ours. We just believe, like we believe in the value of paper money. Right? Yeah, no. Supposedly we have 8,000 metric tons. Chinese people supposedly have 25,000 metric tons buried in their mattresses and their walls and their houses. That's not their central bank. That's just the people. But some people think that number. So we have the United States, which could be lower, but we have the Indian people that have officially 25,000, what they report, but a lot of people think it's even higher. We know the central banks. Russia's buying silver. Yeah, Russia, the country. Think about it. Silver, industrial demand through the roof. Okay. This is oh my gosh. This is the apex moment. All those things are true. That's people demanding silver. But guys, on the supply side, have you seen this chart lately? It shows how far down silver production has fallen in Mexico and Peru. Have you seen that? Because it's like a cliff. It goes down, baby. That's the production of silver in Mexico, which is the world's leading producer of silver for a number of reasons, not the least of which is their government apparently has a very distasteful towards silver mining, want to ban open pit mines, all that. But that's the world's biggest producer of silver. Whoop, down. Peru, whoop, they're like the third biggest, down. Okay. It's happening. Okay. It's happening all with the backdrop of a world that has experienced economic debt and geopolitical strife like nothing we have ever seen. Okay. You know, the best thing I've seen today, that's you. Thank you for being here. All 800 of you joining me here in the basement. It is a big deal. You are important. You're always welcome here. You're part of the club. Okay. Basement dwellers are nice people. I mean, very rarely do we have to ban somebody from the channel. So thank you for being so awesome. Thank you also to every one of you. Yesterday, we talked about our friend Coin Shop Chris. He has a YouTube channel. He's a friend of the basement. Coin Shop Chris. He's in a very difficult situation. I think things got a little better for him this morning, but he'd incurred some big expenses, family emergency, had to do with the weather condition that was on the news for a number of days. Great guy, and I asked you guys to help out. I donated some money to him. A lot of you donated money to him. He is so appreciative. Okay, I can tell you that. And I want to say thank you for helping Susie and I help give him a little bit of a helping hand. I think things are going to get a little better for him here, and he'll be back on his channel. But in the meantime, why don't you go, because we're going to sign off here in 30 seconds. Go out to YouTube, type in Coin Shop Chris in the YouTube search bar if you haven't already. Subscribe to his channel. He'll be back making videos again. He makes awesome videos. His are more coin. We have really kind of different approaches, but his channel's doing awesome. It's like the fastest growing precious metals channel on the internet. Thank you. Okay. We love you guys, Susie and I. Thank you, Jake from Jake's Custom Parts. Thank you, Big Tim the Silvershire. Thank you, Annie Oakley, all the moderators. Okay. Whoa, Kip Jones, hold on a minute. We had a late arrival. Almost missed this. He says, I'm fairly new around here. You mentioned closing the doors after a certain number of people. What's the story behind that? Liking the content, keeping it up. Okay, Kip. Thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you, Richard Bolin. Thank you. Have a great day. There's our friend Richard Bolin. Let me address Kip his question. That's more just a kind of a joke, figuratively speaking. But we can see how many people are down here are on the live stream. Like right now, I see almost 700 people. And when we get to 800, what I mean by that, but there's a real meaning behind that, Kip, and that is that there's only so much room in the silver and gold community for people that want to get silver and gold. So we've had experiences in the past during the banking crisis a year and a half ago, during the health crisis back in 2020, where it was very difficult to actually get precious metals. There's actually the amount of availability of metals to the retail investment community is actually pretty slim. Okay. It's a small fraction. Well, it's a fraction. It's a small percentage of the overall, let's say, silver available in the world. And when people rush to buy silver, it can run out very quickly. So what I'm saying is, I'm saying that figuratively, like we're early. We're people that are learning kind of beforehand what is going on. So when I say the door is going to get locked, that's just kind of a figurative a piece of speech. Like there's only so much room on the silver and gold lifeboat is another way that I like to say that. And we're, we showed up early for the show, so I hope that makes sense. I didn't feel like I didn't do a great job of explaining it, but I'll try to explain it more next time I do it. You know how that goes. Sometimes things just don't flow, and I've been talking here for an hour, okay, which is a real privilege to get to do. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the super chats, guys, and I will see you soon.